Welcome back, everybody. You're with us here on Cape Rugby TV. It's great to have you with us. We're having such lekker conversations about club rugby. Still waiting for a lot of games to get going, but it is, of course, now about 6 weeks away before we get started with our first games. In studio with me, Morgan Newman. Morgan, nice to have you back, man.
Evening, James. Yeah, good to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
And Dr. Ismail Ibrahim. Doc, nice to have you.
Thanks for having us here, JP.
I've been having this pain in my...
Let's talk after this.
Do you get that at the club? Do club play?
It's all over the place. So I'm basically the glorified physio at the club.
Yeah.
You know, seeing to all the nicks and just there.
But isn't that what it's about? It's about, you know, feeling that players can come to you and talk to you?
So that's the least that we can offer in terms of trust and relationship. So I mean, I think for me it's a privilege to be there on the training and just, you know, see to a knock and see to this.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So we were talking to Joaquin van Wyk, who club captain at Van der Stel, and he's very much the mother, the father, the go-to guy for advisory point of view. You're chairperson at Rangers. Do you have that sort of feeling that the guys are...
So I can relate to that, but what we've purposefully done this year is kind of, you know, to try and detach management from the players.
Yeah.
So we've put structures in place to minimize that, but you're still getting the odds and offs of players, you know, sending you messages and asking you, because you're seen as the father structure of the club.
Yeah.
But we've learned that you actually need to minimize the drama, because in rugby, for you know, with all due respect, there's a lot of drama actually within a club.
Keep them busy. That's the rule.
Keep
them busy.
They just need to play rugby. They don't need to worry about other things.
So Morgan Newman, Super League B, have you won the league yet? Is it
JP,
too early?
JP, I don't even know what the pictures look like. Whether we won the league or not, we're here for yes. We're winning that. That's
well,
for
a
sure.
lot of people saying that you guys are in the running to take it this year.
You know, James, before the season starts, everyone says everything. You know, it's that silly season in club rugby that I mean, I've been privy to for a number of years now. And so I don't get too excited. But we're working on our culture. We've got a great vibe down at Kraaifontein. Got plenty of numbers down there. Boys are enjoying it. There's smiles on the faces when the boys are training, and that we're winning if that's the case.
Well, I must say, that's the picture that I'm getting. The people are talking about is that it's fun to be at Kraaifontein. It's close by. It's fun. Everybody's getting together. The gees is there. So that is really call it the rumor that's coming out, is that Kraaifontein's got a good vibe.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what, the big focus when I was obviously selected as the head coach of the club is, you know, there's that catchment area of Kraaifontein. There's so many quality rugby players, so many good schools around the area. It would be silly of us to look anywhere else. And so for us, it was a case of trying to get a lot of those players back. Yeah. A number of them came without even a phone call, which has been great. And then it's a case of creating the culture, you know, like, yes, we're going to have sponsors, and yes, we're going to compete with other clubs that have money and all these things. But, you know, at the end of the day, if we take money out of it completely, will the players stay at Kraaifontein? And if we can get that right, then I think we've achieved a lot in the next couple of years. So, yes, we want to win rugby games. Of course, there's a bit of pressure on me to try and win rugby games. I believe, you know, my coaching ability may get me a fair amount of the distance. Yeah. But just to throw money at players, I mean, you know, that's such short-lived. I've been involved in environments where that has been the case, and I'm going to take my learnings from that and create a cool culture. That has been the big driving force. Great culture. We braai on the last Thursday of every practice. We like to braai. The owners will stick around for a braai and you know, and a boerie roll and a Coke. And then based on that, I think if we get that right, happy players, play good rugby, we're winning, James.
So you're talking about a boerie roll and a Coke. Let me tell you a little bit about food in the Western Cape, or at least in Western Province. All right, there's nothing, hands on, nothing that beats which you know yourself because you've experienced it, but nothing that beats the butter chicken at Rangers.
I can agree with you. 100% can agree with you. We won't compete with Rangers when it comes to their butter chicken.
We're talking about value at club structures. Ishmael, that is something that Rangers has always been known for. It is something that adds value to everybody after the game, especially on a cold winter's rugby day and the sun starts going down.
100% JP, and I think I echo what Morgan is saying in terms of, you know, it's about building that gees. You know, so yes, the butter chicken is fantastic. Yes, the rotis that go with it is fantastic, but it's actually the memories that are created in that moment. You know, it's the banter that happens after the game that actually is remembered. So that is what Rangers is kind of, and I think a lot of the community clubs are trying to build that, and they're trying to reignite the gees, man, because we need that. The guys need to have more unity and cohesion on and off the field.
So it's interesting that you say this, because one of the things that seems to be a challenge is creating, especially when there's new leadership structures taking over, is creating that awareness for everybody. Things are different. Things are new. there's new, and a lot of people maybe don't know about that. So you know, you have to get corral your leadership around you and tell them go out and spread the word.
100%, and it's not an easy thing, and that is why the alignment of the leadership structure is very important. So with club rugby, you need to ensure that the management structure are all aligned in a unified way, and this then allows us to see one vision and one goal. Be that rugby, but be that holistically as well for the club.
So it's interesting that, you know, maybe Morgs, I'll go to you on this one, because you've had such a big depth of playing experience from school rugby through to provincial rugby and all the way through to legends and international rugby. You would probably agree that if the administrative structures are solid behind you, if you've got good secretaries and good managers and kit managers and whatever, you can just worry about playing. You don't have to worry about the politics, you don't have to worry about the administration, because they're kind of guiding you and setting the field for you.
Yeah, well, James, you know, in a positive and a negative way, that is exactly it. You know, the old saying, what is it? The fish rots from the head first, whatever it is. That's exactly how it, you know, if the management and the structures at the top are good, it will filter down to the club. If it's bad, it's going to filter down to the bottom as well, you know? Yeah. And I think, again, I can only speak for the environment that I'm in weekly now, and Craventon are getting that right. They're getting the management structures right. Yes, we've got sponsors, but it's not, you know, our sponsors is not just a handout, here's a check for you, and we don't see them again.
But as a coach, you're not interested really in when they're having their AGMs and their council meetings. You just want to focus on the players. And
well, that's exactly it. I don't know. I heard the fixtures came out. Everyone's talking about. I don't even know the fixtures came out. I know we're going to play at some point in April. The fixtures are going to come out. But my responsibility is making sure the guys between the four white lines are enjoying their rugby. They're coming down with smiles on their faces. And I think we're getting it right. I really do, James. You know, yes, of course, my head's on the block if we don't perform. But you know what? If I leave that club with smiles on their faces and the boys can say they had a good year where they enjoyed it, then I'm happy to take the chop, James.
There's no discussion of that whatsoever. At the moment, as far as we're concerned, you're there for life. So
I'm a life member of Craventon. I live in the area.
So, well, there we go. I mean, that's the thing. How important is that for you, Ishmael? Morgan's just touched on it. You know, having people from the neighborhood playing at a venue.
No, 100%. I mean, I think it's, you know, to keep that gees in terms of the culture and the community and the belonging, because rugby it's more than just, you know, a club is more than just rugby. So to build that family orientated environment that we want, it's important that the players are coming from the community, coaches, managers all come, and the reason for that being is they need to understand the contextual environment of where the club is based, be it violence, be it socioeconomic issues, be it all these other things that we tend to forget off the field. And once coaches and managers understand that, then they understand the players. And this allows us to build that trust and the cohesion within the club. So it's imperative. I mean, so we boast a big pull from the community. So we're catering for Manenberg, we're catering for Heideveld, Bridgetown, Bonteville. So a lot of impoverished, socioeconomically challenged environments.
You know, James, sorry to interrupt you. I'm just thinking about this now. Me and you debate about this at length often. But if you take your ego out of it, right? Like, do the results really matter in club rugby? Like, yes, I want to win, and yes, I want to, you know, for my ego to stroke Morgan's ego, win Super League B would be great, right? But like in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, if I lose to Retreat tomorrow, does it really matter?
Well, do you actually remember any results from 5 years ago where?
Well, exactly. That's
the middle
my
of
point.
the league,
even at provincial level, like when I was playing provincial rugby, do I remember whether we beat the Sharks at Kings Park, whatever.
But no doubt you will remember the names of the players who played with you.
Correct. Exactly. And that's, for me, I think where a lot of people in club rugby get it wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm a winner. You know, I'm the first one to tell you. Someone that says the results don't matter is probably lost. But if we break it down, of course, we get it wrong. Like, we got to enjoy club rugby. Players, we're working man's club. Oak spends 8 to 5 working, probably packing boxes, driving around. It's a long day. The last thing he wants to do is come to a club where he's not really being paid and getting barked at by a coach because he didn't run. You know what I mean?
100%. So the value add system goes out of the window there. And all right, folks, you're watching Cap Rugby TV. You're with us here in studio. In studio with me now is Morgan Newman, Ishmael Ibrahim, chairperson of Rangers. Morgan, of course, head coach at Kraaifontein, but also Cape Rugby TV stalwart before the TV show even began. We're going to take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we can carry on talking about club rugby. So many interesting conversations at the moment. Back in a sec. Don't go away.